From my smartphone to yours, I'm Lovecasting live from the Serious Story Garden Studios in Costa Mesa, California. And this is your Return to Monday, Namaste Today. Good morning and namaste, and welcome to Namaste Today. My name is stepº8. I am your host and your sensei to Serious Joy. This webisode is for Monday, November 30th, 2015, and today the human walk has progressed to step 8, Sagittarius. Hello, my friends. For those in the United States, hello. I hope you had a nice holiday weekend. For those in the rest of the world, I hope you made it through the weekend. It was a powerful weekend, my friends, or a powerful 4 days since I've been off the air. Let's just put it that way. Really, let's go back to Thursday. Thursday, which is Thanksgiving in the United States, was a full moon between the sun and the moon full in Gemini. So it was about pulling apart either attitude or a core belief that doesn't belong. On Thursday, as we celebrate this Thanksgiving, step 4, which is breakdown breakthrough, first breakdown, is what ruled the day. So I think everyone should have gone through some breakdown. In other words, it was not the world that you thought you knew. It was not the place that you thought you were in the world, something like that, some sort of moment. And on Black Friday, as we call it in capitalistic America, I would think breakthrough. So an understanding of breaking through, understanding on Friday, putting the pieces together, getting more information, looking at it from different perspectives. Then on Saturn Day, the sun was at step 6, which is I receive, the ability to open up and receive new information, receive new ideas, and perhaps restore peace and tranquility in yourself since being with the family or whatever. Then on Sunday, it was the sun crossing Saturn. And not just Saturn, Saturn at step 7, that's the holy step. And so this was for everyone having to take responsibility or not for spiritual growth and your beliefs. So as the sun crossed Saturn in this holiday period, it was a coming to responsibility about what we believe. And thank God it happened on step 7. Because our responsibility, basically, with the sun crossing over at step 7, means that we took responsibility under a non-judgmental, compassionate, or hopefully more self-compassionate tone. At least that's what the universe was going for. And that brings us to today. I've caught you up. Monday, which is a step 8 day. All right, so we're 8 days into the transit of Sagittarius. And for those who are just joining, hello, my friends. Welcome, my fellow citizens. We are in Sagittarius, which means the human race, which I call the human walk, is exploring its collective conscious beliefs. So the breakdown breakthrough, everything I was describing through this past weekend, was about at the core, something you believe or don't believe. And that's very powerful. I'm going to try to teach as much as I can this month the power of one's belief. But I also want to help guide you to create a new belief structure that is framed architecturally correctly, which is around the heart. In my opinion, and you'll have to agree or not agree, I believe that all belief should be anchored in the heart. If it doesn't come from your heart, we don't even have to discuss legality or morality or anything, or religion. Did that come from your heart, or did that come from your ego, your hatred, or something else, right? It's that simple. So what I challenge you to do is to begin to edit your beliefs now based on that simple principle. Is it from your heart or not? If it's not, it cannot stay. And beliefs have a certain functionality to them, and that's part of what we're going to talk about. But today, let's move on to today's topic, which is extremely important and relevant for today, self-limiting beliefs. Because today, with a step 8 day, I decide to get rid of self-limiting beliefs. And that's ultimately what happens at this stage. Now, over the weekend, as the sun crossed Saturn, since Saturn is in the first act of Sagittarius, and Saturn is the decider, okay, basically we are all deciding this year in 2015, all deciding with Saturn and Sag what we no longer believe in. I know it's what we no longer believe in because in the first act of any transit, especially with Saturn, it is cutting, cutting, cutting is what happens. We're not yet ready to see the full blossom. We have too much other false beliefs in the way of our view. So over the weekend, no matter what you decided or came to terms of with yourself or what conclusions you came to spiritually between Saturday and Sunday, ideally, you were ending self-limiting beliefs. Ideally, you were cutting away beliefs that don't serve you anymore. Now, by self-limiting, I mean very simply, any belief that restricts you is self-limiting. Now, why is that not good? Well, according to the architecture of incarnation, belief in itself is supposed to be an expanding experience of humankind. That belief is to always expand us, never to restrict us. All right? That's the nature of beliefs. Just like a tree is to shelter us, not choke us to death. Okay? Like, that's just the way it was intended. It's the nature of it. The nature of belief is to expand. The nature of love is to expand, just as another parallel example. So, any belief that will inevitably contract your life, any belief that holds you back is a self-limiting belief, and we know it's not good because by the nature of belief itself, it's working against its own nature. The nature of belief is to expand, to educate, to inform, to fill the void, all right? And Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, if you want to know the classic astrology, and Jupiter is what rules belief. So Jupiter is all about expansion. Therefore, a belief which comes from Jupiter cannot be anti-Jupiter, right? But anti is exactly what people do when they want to control other people's beliefs. They create self-limiting beliefs. And today, with Step 8 ruling the day, I argue we'll be deciding away some self-limiting beliefs. So to help you along, I want to give you today's 5 o'clock question. Okay? And today's 5 o'clock question, incidentally, I do want to put out there that last time I had talked to people in the beta program of my tech service, which will be open to the public very shortly, but in the first 7-day trial, I forgot you don't get 5 o'clocks, but you do get the 5 o'clock message as of now. So take a look at your 5 o'clock question because it will drill down even further for you in your personal soul biography and what you're working on this month. So the first 5 o'clock question is this: name a belief that you turned out to be wrong about. Name a belief you turned out to be wrong about. How did that belief end up holding you back? How did that belief end up holding you back? All right, and that's the follow-up. So I'll answer this question quickly. Name a belief that I turned out to be wrong about. Oh, geez, where do I start? I used to think, I even wrote a couple down. It's like, I used to believe that I'd be successful by age 30. We're way past that age. I used to believe that I had to know every step of the way to get there. Turns out you only need to know the next step, if you guys don't know that one. I believed that I had to be perfect from the very beginning when I started. Turns out people actually like to watch you grow. I believe that I had to have money to get started in my dreams. I got started when I was poor. I'm only now starting to make just a little bit of money. So it turns out that really most of my beliefs were wrong when I started out in my adventure. And that's what I'm working on this month with the Sun and Sagittarius, my heart's adventure. How did these beliefs hold me back? Well, because I didn't think I had money, I didn't start. Because I thought it'd be perfect, I waited too long to start. Because I thought I had to know every step of the way, I waited too long to start. Because I thought it'd be successful, I felt I better start. That's my roaring 20s. So like a lot of tension there, right? Like all from self-limiting beliefs. These are all self-limiting beliefs that I had to leave. I had to have money. I had to have these things. But the thing is like, wait, Chris, you didn't know they were self-limiting, right? But hold on. You thought they were things that were true. To have a business in the United States, you got to have money. That's just a belief. But what I'm saying is, not according to the universe and God. If you have a belief that in the end limits you, like, oh, you need money? Can't do it. Sorry, Chris. That's a false belief. It's a false belief. It's a self-limiting belief because it's a belief that says you can't do it now when belief itself is about expansion and growth. All right? So that means that is let's say a belief that's working against you. It's an anti-belief and it holds you back. So let me do a follow-up. Name a current challenge in your life, okay? What self-limiting belief could be holding you back right now? So find a challenge in your life. I challenge you. There's your challenge. I've just challenged you. That's your challenge. Okay? And I don't know what that was. That was my Woody Woodpecker coming out from childhood there. And figure out what your beliefs are, what's holding you back, what do you believe is holding you back, and then ask yourself, is that belief itself relative? Can we undo that belief? And just take it from there. So today we're kind of making those decisions, and I think it's going to be good. But as an airplane flies in, before you dive in to figuring out about your self-limiting beliefs, let's first log into my guides and see what they have to say for you. Okay. Okay. There's a lot going on. Excuse me for the pause, but I kind of want to get my feelings together about everything that I was feeling. So today, what's interesting is we have a soul pyramid in fire that forms today, a grand trine in fire, which means that the three fiery states of awareness inside of us all unite and start talking to each other. So a grand trine is kind of like they all get networked together and they can share information. And what I picked up on from my guides was Neptune. So when I came back here, I was like, okay, Neptune's at purebred 7 Pisces. So for Neptune to be at its purebred number says, okay, all step 7 energy is as high and as intense as it can be right now. And so I thought, well, where's the relevance of that? And then I see Saturn is at 7. 7 is definitely ruling here. And there's going to be a moment when this soul pyramid in fire vibrates at 7, when the moon goes to 7. So this means that as you're making your decisions today, you want to stay in the 7th heaven. What is the 7th heaven? The 7th heaven is being curious and observing the outcome, being non-judgmental of the outcome, but seeking the truth. Okay? So today I've taught you how to eliminate out of your beliefs excuses for not getting things done if they're self-limiting beliefs and themselves are just designed to keep you from trying, right? So pulling those up, where we stand as we start to pull these things up is we stand non-attached, we stay neutral, we stay non-judgmental. The universe has your highest good in peeling off certain programming that you've told yourself and told yourself and told yourself. I think the appeal of Donald Trump to some degree is he's taking power for what he believes and he doesn't care what other people believe. And I think that's Saturn and Sag in the sense that the human walk is right now very interested in taking power over their beliefs, and you are too. So to take power of your beliefs, you have to let the false beliefs fall in front of you. These things that you have subscribed to since childhood because people, parents, institutions, television, mass media, you name it, being skinny, being all these things. At the end of the day, it's like, does your heart want that? Well, then it's not who you are. And if you know that your intention is to get to your heart's truth, then don't judge yourself at all, or the people that brainwashed you into it, because they were trying to be happy too. There's no to blame and to point and to judge and to criticize are those who will be stuck and not ascend. Okay? Those who are completely non-judgmental and just let all these old clothings and costumes just be taken off of us ascend because they just keep getting lighter and lighter. You can sit there and argue about you shouldn't have been there in the first place or you're not guilty, but as soon as you do that, you stop your floating up from out of all of this. So belief carries us quite far. The multiple of step 3 is profound, and the power of the number of 3 is also profound. So stay in that 7th heaven. Holy shift. Pluto has gone to step 14 after being step 13 forever. And it's trining Mars conjuncting Black Lilith at step 10. So I had mentioned this before, and it all comes from out of the holiday weekend and whatnot, which is that people are manifesting away from their worst fears, or people are manifesting their worst fears. So literally people have just taken a fork. It's kind of like if you want to look at the international struggle, whether or not someone gets hurt by someone in ISIS was decided over this weekend. You decided when you decided what side of it you were on the side of fear or on the side of love. I believe people who are on the side of fear are going to have explosive reality checks. Okay? I believe people who are on the side of love will be taken care of. I just think that's the way it works. And there is no proof. You have to look at your friends and neighbors and see who's in the side of love and who's not and what happens to who. Your own evidence. But I think that's how it works. So we are ascending. I didn't really expect it to happen in Sag, but because now that I'm kind of logged into guides, this is an ascension moment. So folks, if you are feeling any kind of dizziness or whatnot, I think vibrationally we are moving up the scale right now, and there might be a little turbulence. Please return to your seats and strap in your karma belts. All right, friends, that's all I have for Monday and being back. I hope you have a wonderful ascension and flight. I will let you know when we get to our cruising altitude of 22,000 feet. Until then, live in your heart, and remember I love you, and live, love, be.
So